The classified briefing. The conference room at the Interstellar Defense Coalition headquarters hummed with quiet tension. Representatives from 14 different species had gathered around the circular table, their forms casting strange shadows under the neutral lighting designed to accommodate various visual spectrums. Admiral Threnzak of the Krillithian Empire adjusted his position, his forearms folding across his armored chest as he waited for the briefing to begin. "This is highly irregular," Threnzak announced, his voice carrying the deep resonance typical of his species. "We have been summoned with minimal notice and no explanation. I demand to know why the Coalition has pulled senior military commanders from active duty for this meeting." Commander Sarah Chen stood at the head of the room, her hands clasped behind her back in a parade rest position. She was human, which already made several of the attendees uncomfortable. Humanity had only joined the galactic community 40 years ago. Yet they had somehow secured positions throughout the Coalition's military structure. Many considered it premature, even dangerous. "Thank you for your patience, Admiral," Chen replied calmly. "The purpose of this briefing is to address concerns that have been raised about Earth's military capabilities and our integration into Coalition defense forces." A Zentari officer, her translucent form shimmering slightly, spoke up. "The Zentari Consensus has reviewed Earth's application for inclusion in the elite response units. We find the request puzzling. Humans lack the physical advantages of most species considered for these roles. No natural armor, no enhanced sensory capabilities, relatively slow reflexes by galactic standards. What justification can you possibly provide?" Chen touched a control panel, and the room's central holographic projector came to life. "I understand your skepticism, Director Valmir. Before we discuss qualifications, I would like to share some data that has recently been compiled by Coalition Intelligence." The hologram displayed a simple chart with species names listed vertically and numerical values horizontally. The Thraxian Empire's elite units showed a combat efficiency rating of 12.3. The cybernetically enhanced Corvin Dominion displayed 18.7. The hive-minded Zephyrites, with their perfect coordination and shared consciousness, achieved an impressive 21.4. "These numbers represent kill ratios," Chen explained. "The average number of enemy combatants neutralized by a single soldier before that soldier is incapacitated or killed. These statistics are compiled from the last 200 years of recorded conflicts across Coalition space." Threnzak studied the display with his primary eyes while his secondary eyes remained fixed on Chen. "These figures are well known to everyone in this room. The Krillithian Vanguard achieved 16.9, as you can see. These ratios represent the pinnacle of military training, genetic optimization, and technological advancement across our respective civilizations." "Agreed," Chen said. "Each of these numbers represents thousands of years of military tradition and development. They are impressive by any measure." A Vorathian observer, his scaled hide reflecting the holographic light and unsettling patterns, leaned forward. "I notice Earth's military forces are not included in this comparison. Surely you did not summon us here to demonstrate your species' inferior performance." Chen smiled, though there was no humor in it. "Human forces are not listed because including them would require a different scale entirely. The Coalition Statistical Analysis Division initially thought there was an error in the data." She gestured, and the hologram shifted. New information began scrolling across the display, showing individual human military engagements from the past 4 decades. The first entry showed a skirmish on the frontier world of Hadrius Prime. 3 human soldiers against 47 hostile combatants. Result: 3 humans survived, 47 hostiles neutralized. "This must be incorrect," Valmir stated flatly. "No species achieves ratios like this in actual combat conditions." "The data has been verified multiple times," Chen replied. "This engagement on Hadrius Prime involved a standard Marine fire team providing security for a research outpost when they were attacked by raiders. The Marines held their position for 6 hours until reinforcements arrived." Another entry appeared: 5 humans against 112 enemies during the Kepler Station incident. Result: 5 humans survived with minor injuries, 112 hostiles eliminated or captured. Threnzak's armored plates began clicking together, a sign of agitation among his species. What weapons did these humans possess? Clearly they must have had access to experimental technology or prohibited armaments. "Standard issue equipment," Chen answered. Kinetic rifles, basic combat armor, standard tactical gear, nothing that wouldn't be available to equivalent forces from any coalition species. The Varathian observer stood abruptly, his claws scraping against the table surface. You are claiming that individual human soldiers regularly achieve combat ratios that exceed our best warriors by factors of 10 or 20? This is absurd. There must be fabrication in these reports. Chen's expression remained neutral. The Varathians should be particularly familiar with human combat capabilities, Observer Kreshtar. Your people were among the first to encounter human military forces during the border conflicts of 2187. Kreshtar fell silent, his membranes flickering in what those familiar with Varathian body language recognized as discomfort. The border conflicts were not a subject the Varathian military enjoyed discussing. Let me show you something else, Chen continued. The hologram changed again, this time displaying a three-dimensional tactical map. It showed a human cargo vessel surrounded by 8 Varathian raider ships. This engagement occurred in 2186 before formal first contact between our species. A civilian cargo ship crewed by 17 humans was intercepted by Varathian raiders demanding surrender and cargo transfer. Civilian vessels do not concern this assembly, Threnzak interjected. We are discussing military capabilities. Please observe, Chen said calmly. The tactical display began animating, showing the progression of the engagement. The cargo ship impossibly began maneuvering aggressively instead of surrendering. It used its own cargo containers as weapons, explosive decompression as a defensive measure, and even rammed one of the raider vessels. The engagement lasted 43 minutes, Chen narrated. When it was over, 5 Varathian raider ships were destroyed or disabled. The cargo vessel, while heavily damaged, made it to the nearest coalition station. All 17 crew members survived. The room had fallen completely silent. Even the species that communicated through sounds outside human hearing range had stopped their supplementary conversations. Chen pulled up the final display. It was a single number, glowing in the center of the holographic field. 84.7. This is the average combat kill ratio for human military forces across all recorded engagements since Earth joined the coalition, she stated. Individual special operations personnel achieve ratios exceeding 200. These numbers have been verified by coalition intelligence, cross-referenced with after-action reports from 17 different species, and confirmed through independent analysis. Valmir's form had stopped shimmering entirely, something that only happened when Azintari experienced profound shock. How is this possible? Chen deactivated the hologram and looked around the room, meeting the eyes or optical organs of each attendee in turn. That is precisely why you have been summoned here today. The coalition needs to understand what makes human soldiers so effective, because in 3 weeks, the Council will vote on whether to approve humanity's participation in the elite response units. You need to know what you are actually voting on. She paused, letting the weight of the statistics settle over the assembled officers. And more importantly, you need to understand what happens when humans decide they have something worth fighting for.